Welcome to the Launch Lab. I'm your host, Colin Raja. Each episode, I sit down with top sellers, brand builders, and marketers to uncover why products win or don't and how to fix yours. Real strategies, real data, real results. Let's launch. Hey guys, this is Colin Raja again. This is Launch Lab podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about what it takes to win in Amazon, and then we're going to be interviewing like the top Amazon leaders. And I have right now somebody's called Matt. The Matt is a co-founder of ProductPinion, which is one of my favorite tools. I use it all the fucking time. I'm cursing right now, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So, by the way, this episode has been sponsored by Launch Lab. Basically, it's like I develop a multiple seven-figure brand and develop we last year alone made like close to 150 product launches, and we are very, very exclusive on who we're working with. And if you're interested, we can reach out to us. Let's go back to the Matt. Matt, why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit, and then let's go from there.
Yeah, totally. Well, first of all, look at this location.
Oh my God.
Isn't this beautiful?
Right? We are in like Top Dog Summit actually at this point. We're having so much fun. Look at this actually. There's so much amazing things happening at this point.
We got the golf, we got the pool, we got the
we had like a matching dress, so it's really good. Yeah, amazing.
So yeah, a little bit about myself. My name's Matt. As Colin was saying, I'm the CEO, co-founder of ProductPinion. Been selling on Amazon for well over 10 years. I like to say before it was cool, when you could just put up anything and it would just start selling. Now, not so much. Times have changed, obviously. And happy to be here and chat about how we can make
That's awesome. See, one of the favorite things about this, I use it. I at least touch this website at least 5 to 6 times. I'm not really like trying to promote them or whatever, but it really matters to me because I'm a super data guy. It works really well. But let's start from the beginning, right? How did you get first started, first of all?
Yeah, totally. So how I first started selling, so way back when I worked at a pharmaceutical company, and they only did wholesale. So they only sold to other retailers, and that was their whole model. And I was thinking, well, hey, like, why not sell direct to consumer, right? You remove that extra step, you make more money. And it was a very small pharmaceutical company, and they were like, okay, hey, Matt, you know what? Try it. Let's see what you can do. So back then, wasn't even on Amazon. I was just building WordPress sites. I was using WooCommerce, I think it was, built up a little bit of a presence, and it took off. It actually did pretty well. It was selling a lot to direct to consumer. And then after that, Groupon was a thing. So we ended up putting the products on Groupon, sold really well, and it got me thinking, like, if these pharma products can do well, then what else could do well?
Yeah.
And what was interesting with Groupon is, in Canada, at least, we ended up becoming one of the biggest distributors of physical products for Groupon. And it was like split testing all the time, because we were basically sending, every week would be a different deal, a different product, and everything was just being drop shipped, right? Everything was being drop shipped from China. So I got to test out like a whole bunch of different items and products. And it was good, but it was a grind, because it was like every single week I had to come up with a new deal, a new product, a new thing. And then that's where it kind of shifted, where I was like, well, hey, if I actually built a brand, then maybe I could get ongoing sales without having to keep, shoving these deals in front of people to make the sales.
So that's how you come up with like a differentiation of how we can able to do the split testing without spending so much time. Just stimulate it and find a way that how we can able to make collect the data.
Yeah, exactly. And something more stable, right? So like with Groupon, it was like random deal. That's where I kind of got into Amazon, where I was like, well, hey, if I just made the brand and I could just put it on Amazon and make reoccurring sales without having these one-off deals, there's something there. There's an opportunity there.
So you you try to place the product in Amazon, see Groupon, and you come to Amazon. So Amazon, you found the problem of split testing.
Yeah. So the split testing came. So the other thing I learned on Groupon was most of the products were just generic, right? Okay. So there was no brand, no whatever. You're just selling anything and everything. People are buying because it looks like a good deal. When you actually attached a brand name to the product, even on Groupon, it would sell more. So that was one of the first kind of split tests that I was doing, where it was, hey, attaching the brand name the product made it sell that much better. So anything I then started, and I also learned the lesson actually on Amazon, where if you don't have a brand name on Amazon, then anyone can just obviously jump on your list.
Of course, 100%. 100%.
One of the first products I sold actually was, I'm not an Apple guy, but I sold the 32 pin connector to the smaller, like modern day connector.
Okay.
Threw it up on Amazon, and like it was doing, easily $1,000 a week, and then $1,000 it kept going.
That's like replacing the whole salary for you. When you get the initial time.
Oh yeah. It was like, it kind of opened the mind. I was like, oh my God, this is cool. But, over time, people, other sellers jumped on it. So we had to come up with another product. And then obviously branding was super, super important for that.
No, my story is almost similar. So I bought a refurb, like a foldable water bottle. And I bought it for like 20 cents each bottle.
Nice.
And I pack it into 3 and sell it for $19. That's how I made my first $1,000. Like cool. Buying $100 worth of water bottle and invest on like completely packaged in eBay and Amazon. That's how I made my $1,000. I mean, the best thing what you're learning is like what are we learning right now is like you don't need like a big amount to kickstart. The action is like most important for you to take than doing a lot of analysis paralysis stopping you.
Yep.
I mean, take an action. Go in first and then learn how to swim. You don't have to like take hundreds of practice hours to swim. Just go in, you will hang out with like a bunch of, that's what I want to ask you next question. I believe in networking. It's the most important thing. It doesn't matter where you want to take your career. What is your experience on that actually?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, basically, because you can't go in it alone, right? Like, I mean, you can try, but obviously talking to people, the best ideas that I get is not necessarily my own. It's like just chatting with other people. And the same goes true for your products, right? So for example, once I was on, there was one product that was doing really well on the Groupon, put it to Amazon, or actually, sorry, just before putting it to Amazon, I wanted to figure out what people would think about it, right?
Yeah.
So I actually launched a Kickstarter for it.
Oh,
so I was like, so that's just another idea. It's another way of just getting the consumer insights, asking people like, what do you think about this category? How can I make it better? That sort of thing. And using those insights to, make a product that does really well.
Really well.
Yeah.
No, it's the one of the thing what's most important about like what I like about Product Opinion is like and also your journey as well, right? It's more or less like you have to test. That's the whole purpose of whole thing is like the tool and also the entrepreneurship and also life. It's all about like testing where you are. If you don't know where you are right now, you'll never be able to grow where you should be at that point. I want to ask you that question during this process, actually. What is your deepest dark moments, actually? What are your like real talk, actually?
Yeah.
Let's do that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go deep. Yeah. I mean, obviously there's always like, am I going to fail? Right? Like, am I going to put like, I think one of the biggest hesitations that even sellers have today about Kickstarter, for example, it's very public, right? So if you do up a Kickstarter project, and it fails, it's public. People can see it. But at the end of the day, if you don't try, like you won't. You
always fail. Actually.
Yeah.
Now I specifically want to touch point that one, right? What does this emotion looks like? Why you care about what other people think? What was the where that come from? Actually, of course, we are all have a one story about it.
Yeah.
But how did you overcome out of that? First of all, are you still in that? Are you still overcome out of that? Or what's
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has it at least a little bit, but it's a good. Yeah, I mean, it's a good. Yeah, no, that's hey, no, absolutely. It's tough, right? Because you're always. I mean, at the end of the day, one thing I realized is you can't make everyone happy, no matter as much as you can. I mean, I think my personality is that I want to make everyone happy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just kind of like built in.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Canadian in me, I guess, right? But that's a big lesson to learn too, is that, you don't want to do, someone had said like, if you're trying to be everything to everyone, then you're nobody.
You're nobody. Exactly. So what are some of the moments that you're really super proud of in your journey?
Yeah, right on. So just trying things. I feel like if you're hung up, like you mentioned earlier too, that decision paralysis. Yeah, like getting over that is huge. And if you can just actually do the things and basically, you know, throw the spaghetti to the wall, see what sticks. So I think what I'm most proud of is just doing that, like actually testing things and seeing what actually comes out on top, because you never know. You actually could be pleasantly surprised by what comes out of just trying different things.
Oh, I have so much thing admire on that one specifically. I love that specific topic, which is like testing yourself. I put myself in a place, a lot of situations. I mean, it's always you get like either you get best situation out of it, or you get like a best learning out of it, or you will learn yourself much better way than ever. So let's talk a technical aspect, right? A little bit on the product opinion. What are some best test cases you got?
Yeah. So, I mean, what's interesting is that like a lot of sellers still to this day, they kind of just set it and forget it. Which is okay. I mean, if they're doing well, but what they don't realize is that they could be leaving a ton of money on the table. So even, you know, simple things like, their main image, which might not be so simple, obviously depends on the category, but it's just iterating, right? Always be in the mindset of like, hey, what can I do? What can I do? The marketplace always is changing. Your competitors are always changing. One example I can give you with a product that we did, it was a mosquito repellent bracelet. And we were the first. So if you look at the search results for mosquito repellent bracelets, it's all like a circus, different colors, different bracelets all over the place. Yeah. So in my mind, it goes to like, how do I pattern interrupt? How do I do something differently? And we were one of the first to put a thumbs up on the main image with the mosquito bracelet right on there. And that contributed to the success of that product, like crazy.
Blew up?
It blew up. We did like over, it was well over, it hit over 7 figures in, just over a year. And, even outranked, like big names, big,
like a brand name. So I totally get that one. Why? Because I had a product called lifting hooks. So I don't do the split testing. I don't believe in that. Like, probably like 5 years ago, I don't believe in that. I don't do that, nothing. Because at that time, there are a couple of other tools available. So I was not using none of the stuff because one, I'm not technically understand how that works. So what happened is basically there are a couple of competitors copying our exact style. What we did is like one of our photographer has a tattoo in their hand, like a big tattoo. So the product was like showing up from this angle. So
the tattoo stands
out.
Yeah.
So because of that, we got like a crazy number of hike in our sales and crushing our in a kind of like a CTR in a pretty well. And in a 3 to 5 months later, and I see a lot of people copying the tattoo like that. And I was like surprised, why are you copying tattoo? If we copy the product, it makes sense, right? I mean, why? And then I realized, so we put up like the pooling at that point and find out. So because of the tattoo, we start winning like crazy.
Right. Yep.
Right? It was crazy actually how you can able to.
It makes sense though, because it stands out. But then but that's half the issue too, is like a lot of sellers, they just look at the best seller and they're like, oh, if that's selling so well, I'm going to do the exact same thing. And you can try doing that, but I'd rather be in a position of like, I want to be the leader, right? So I want to be the one doing the thumbs up with the mosquito repellent. I want to be the one that is always innovating. So, like selling on Amazon, or I mean, selling anywhere, it's never just one and done. It's always that iteration that gets you the incremental gains so that you can be the category leader instead of the one trying to play catch up.
So what's the next thing about product opinion? What is something that you're looking forward for next one?
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, obviously growing it. So I feel like we've been to a ton of events, this year, especially. And what's interesting to me is like not a lot of sellers, I mean, obviously sellers know about testing, but not a lot of sellers are actually doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's such a big opportunity still. And, I think what's really exciting for me with AI, making it so easy to make new variations, of your main image, of your lifestyle images, it just means that there's a lot more opportunity for testing.
Okay.
And, that's super exciting to me.
I have a final 2 questions for him. Okay. Tell me, it's like a rapid fire test. Let's do that one, right? So what are the other tools other than product opinion you use for Amazon marketplace actually?
So I'm a little weird in that, like, so obviously people are going to say like helium-10 and that sort of thing, jungle scout for keyword research. For me, I like creating, so I typically don't like using those tools for, I guess, product discovery.
Yeah.
I like kind of creating stuff that I would use, and I feel like I've been the most successful in the products, right? So for me, it's more just, a lot of it's research, right? So obviously I'm using ChatGPT quite a bit for the research. Manus AI is a big one for research as well too. It can actually scrape Amazon reviews.
I'll put up the link, guys, for sure. Yeah, I'll get the links for you.
Yeah, that's a big one. But yeah, for me, it's more like, and obviously I'm going to say ProductPinion for qualitative research. I like doing the Pinion videos, and because you can basically show people your product and then ask like, hey, how would you make this better? Or show a competitor's product. Ask 10, 20 people. They'll give you the best ideas on how to make it bigger and better.
I mean, I'm using it for product development as well. You don't even have to develop a product. You can take your competitor product and also like create a ChatGPT version of what we see right now.
Yeah.
So, and then you create the product and put it in the product opinion. You can able to find out like so much information about that. Who's the next question? What I have is like, who is some of the top leaders you like to follow in our Amazon industry?
Oh, I mean, Amazon industry, there's a lot. There's also, so for example, give you three. Colin. Well, I was also going to say there's a few in the software space that I respect as well too. Obviously, developing software, but I mean, obviously your content's gold, Colin. Can't say right. Can't say that. Kevin King does a really good job.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great. He has a really good content. He puts a lot of great people together. Brandon Young as well too. He's always publishing.
Yeah.
And Dorian Gorski, like he has some of the best. Dorian, yeah. So he's based out of Poland, and he's on LinkedIn. He's posting like. I mean, he has 10, 15 years experience of optimizing listings. So he pretty much has seen every type of product, every type of thing. And he shares it all on LinkedIn. And he shares like, hey, this is the test that we did. This is the change that we made. And here are the results. And with him, it's again, similar like yourself, data driven, and just trying to figure out how to make more money for brands. So.
All right. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Yo, listen, the end of the conclusion is right. If you want to start something, you first of all. Don't worry about analysis paralysis, first of all. Second thing, test as much as data, collect as much as data. The third one, hang out with like a people who's like around the network, so you can able to be familiar with what they're doing, and you can able to get along with what they adapted to, and you can able to understand the language. That's where you can able to build a business properly. But anyway, it's a last thing. What I want to say is basically stay tuned, and we'll be like recording more episodes soon, and watch out for more. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to the Launch Lab, where data meets momentum and great ideas become seven-figure brands. If you found today's episode valuable, share it with a fellow Amazon seller, subscribe, and leave us a review. Until next time, launch smart, scale fast, and never stop testing.